From today, GPs will be able to prescribe weight loss jabs on the NHS in England.
And then 2 o'clock in the morning, I just woke up with horrendous pain in my stomach. I was sick because of the pain.
Well, welcome to 2025, the new world where every little problem we have has to be medicated or drugged.
It's a healthy diet and exercise that Lorna uses to help control her weight these days.
Oh, you tried exercise and weight loss? That's pretty controversial. Did it work? And look at the bland food she's eating. Bland ass food. That's why you don't stick to it. Because you believe that throwing some sort of frozen, pre-made packet of vegetable rice and chicken is the way forward. And that's going to be the thing that's going to allow you to stick strict to a diet. Yeah.
She had tried one of the brands of weight loss jabs, which she bought online, and was initially thrilled to be losing 3 to 4 pounds a week. Then one night she suffered what doctors believe was a side effect to the drug, an inflamed pancreas that needed hospital treatment and surgery to remove her gallbladder.
So like everything, no long-term testing. Does that remind you of another period of our lives? What was the drug we were taking with a lot of side effects and a lot of deaths with no long-term testing? Calpol?
Legs were shaking, the pain. Oh God, it was horrific.
Now she says the jabs just aren't worth the risk.
I went to bed absolutely fine, completely normal. And then 2 o'clock in the morning, I just woke up with horrendous pain in my stomach. I was sick because of the pain. I was getting a fever. I was curled over with pain in my stomach. It was like someone had just stabbed me in my stomach.
Lorna's not alone, according to new data from the UK's medicines regulator. It found 181 cases of pancreatitis linked to Mounjaro. 5 people died. And there were 113 cases of pancreatitis linked to Ozempic and Wegovy. 1 person died.
So these drugs that are being pushed out, these are specifically drugs for diabetes. Now, Ozempic and stuff were the exact same, all right? I think there was an Ozempic, Wegovy, and this one now, Mounjaro. They were all drugs developed and for the focus of lowering blood sugar levels in diabetics. But of course, as everything, we find out about these drugs that do other things and weight loss and go, oh yeah, I want one of those, thanks. And this claim that also that, you know, it's only for certain people over certain BMIs and weights, so it'll be prescribed this by their doctors. If you really think that people are not going to get a hold of this drug, you're not living on planet Earth. TikTok shop, online stores. There's a lot of online medical stores that literally fill in a few questions and voila, here's your drug.
An estimated 1.5 million people in the UK are already taking these weight loss drugs, either privately, as you said, or through weight loss services. But over these next 3 years, 220,000 patients in England will be prescribed it for weight loss. Initially, it'll be offered to patients with the highest clinical need. So we're talking about people who have a BMI score of over 40 or 37.5 if they're from a minority ethnic background.
There is a lot more people on that drug. A lot more people. I can tell you right now, I know a lot of people on that drug. I know friends of friends that are on that drug. That is a low ball number. That is a poll number that they've just spat out and guessed. There is a lot more people on these drugs.
Scientists says the risks are higher in people who are using the jabs as a lifestyle choice.
The risks associated with being obese far outweigh any risk associated with these drugs. They're not drugs for aesthetic reasons. It's not a new weight loss fad. This is a medication in the same way that people would take blood pressure medication or painkillers. These are medications used to treat the disease of obesity.
And then now we have the doctor. Because he has a title in his name, make sure you heed every single word of him. Yeah, well, you see, that's an interesting observation. Now, the observation and statement is true. Your risk for other infectious diseases and health complications while you're obese is massive. However, the claim that taking this drug and the risk far outweighs the risk of obesity is not accurate. Unless you're Tammy from My 106 Pound Life, that would be the case. The risk to reward ratio from taking the drug from not taking the drug would be in your favour. However, for Sandra, who's a little bit overweight, who, let's face it, just hasn't stuck to a diet long enough, the risk is probably a lot greater.
Rating for patients like Kath Harrison in Derby, who doesn't quite meet all of the criteria.
Every time I go to the doctors, no matter what I've been to the doctors about, every time it's you need to lose weight, you need to change your lifestyle. It is a bit unfair to those who have been told for quite a few years that this is what I need to do. And then if I went back and saw them, they'd probably say, actually, no, we can't help you with that.
And then, of course, here we go. Yeah, it's the doctor's fault. We go to the doctors, and they always talk about my weight. They never listen to my actual health complications. And you know, I mean, if I just lost the weight, you know, it would probably, you know, I would just come back, and they would say it wasn't that. Well, nice assumption, nice work ethic. You didn't even fucking try. I hear this all the time about overweight people complain about when they go to the doctors. All they worry about is my weight. Yes, because funny enough, obesity is one of the most massive health mark checkers. I'll give you an example. Right now, being on prep here, in my off-season peak weight, I was 97 kilo, right? At the minute, I'm about 69 kilo. The amount of improvements in my health mark checkers are massive. I had sciatica shooting pains down my leg. It was waking up at 4 a.m. every morning. Gone. I was getting heart pains down one side of my arm and in my chest. Gone. Ankle cramping. Gone. Procrastination, energy dips, breathing issues. Gone. And I don't realize they're gone until I actually think about it and go, fuck, they're gone. You see, right now we're in a very important time in our human race that technology and medical advancements are taking over. Hard, resilient, and hard work. The fact of the matter is that you do not need these drugs. 90% of the people out there do not need these drugs, and the majority of you taking these drugs do not need these drugs. And I can promise you, they will bite you in the ass eventually. Down the line, I don't know when it will be, you'll get bit in the ass. Drugs can have long-term effects. They can affect appetite long-term, digestion problems long-term. Is that really worth it when you could just lock in a bit harder? Lock in, create healthy habits, healthy diet, actually get out and walk instead of sitting in your ass all day. Actually find the means and foods that works for you. Have a good relationship with food, a balanced relationship, and then your problems long-term are solved. Yes, some people are genetically dispositioned to gain weight, but unfortunately, you're going to work harder. And also, unfortunately, genetics loads a gun, but environment pulls the trigger. Anyway, like and subscribe if you like the video. Until next time, works.